It's actually recording. Yes, it's recording. Good. It seems that the old set is really coming together. Check it out. I got backlighting. I've got the old red tube colors going. I only picked them because they were neon. Yeah, so to fit in with the whole 1950s theme. But yeah, anyway, thanks again for the suggestions in the comments. You know who you are. And don't worry, I am still doing the 8th Doctor videos. It's all written out. In fact, I just got done doing a segment for one of them. Hence the jellyfish shirt. If you know, you know. Season 2 or 15 or whatever it wants to call itself. Episode 2, Lux. I had high expectations for this one. Early reviews were saying that it was basically the second coming of Christ. Practically staining Russell with tongue baths, and that man has had a lot of tongue baths at his time. Hell, I've given him a few myself. Gatwa's best performance so far, as meta as the show has ever been. An exhilarating, Disney, era-defining episode. And does it live up to the hype? I'm going to say mostly yes. Compared to the last episode especially, it's a step up. It's a really fun ride and very nostalgic if you happen to have grown up watching films like Who Framed Roger Rabbit or Mary Poppins. Set in 1952, the golden age of animation and segregation, where the Doctor and Miss Belinda Chandra investigate a haunted cinema and find the place has been taken over by a living cartoon who crawled out of one of the films. It is fun, it is meta, it is genuinely terrifying at times. It starts with probably the best cold open in the show's history, introducing the audience to Mr. Ring-a-Ding, a cartoon that comes to life through multi-dimensional moonbeams, crawls out of the screen, and then terrorizes the audience. The first ever 3D films were a disaster. They didn't use glasses, and a lot of people died, which is why when they came back in the 2000s, everybody had to impersonate Buddy Holly. I have no idea where this landed. So the Doctor can't get Miss Belinda Chandra home, which I neglected to really address in the last one, so let's do it now. It seems that TARDIS can't take them back to May 25th, 2025. It's as if something is blocking their entry, as if there's like a dome over the time and place that they want to reach, which has never happened before. Poor 8th Doctor, he's forgotten more than he's ever known. It also happened in the episode Daleks Take Manhattan with the 11th Doctor. And I have the same gripe that everybody else did back then. There are obvious ways around this that none of the characters are considering for reasons of plot. If you can't drop her off in that time and place, pick a time or a place that is close to that time and or place, and then drop her off there. Tell her to spend a day at the shops or something so she won't run into herself. Or drop her off in London or Norwich or something and tell her to get a bus back. And yes, it's implied that the world is ending on the 24th. But the Doctor and Belinda don't know that. So instead of doing the obvious thing, the Doctor knocks up a piece of tech that can like slingshot them back if they get like a fix on the time and place, but they need to land a few times in order for it to work. First stop is 1952. The place, Miami, Florida. And Miss Belinda Chandra seems a little bit too eager to go out and explore, considering the talking to she just gave the Doctor not 5 minutes ago from her perspective. But I'm on board. I mean, if somebody gives you the opportunity to travel through time and space, you jump at that opportunity despite your misgivings. The Doctor sets up the thing, and they immediately notice the chained up cinema, advertising one of Rock Hudson's movies. And Belinda mentions having studied him for her HIV training course. A nice bit of queer history, which is deserving of some context. Rock Hudson was one of the biggest stars of his day. He did his best to keep his private life under wraps, but those closest to him, including his wife, knew that he was gay. And one of the people close to him was Ronald Reagan, fellow movie star and eventual president of the United States of America, whose response to the AIDS crisis was to tell anybody who could do anything about it to look pretty and do as little as possible. As it burned through the country, he wouldn't even acknowledge it as a health crisis. That is, until it started affecting the lives of people that he knew. Rock Hudson was diagnosed with AIDS on the 5th of June, 1984. He died on the 2nd of October, 1955. He was only 59. In September of that year, Ronald Reagan recognized AIDS as a health crisis for the first time. It was a true turning point, but by then, 558 Americans had already died out of 1,450 reported cases, and those are just the ones they knew about. The bodies were already piling up. People were protesting in the streets, demanding that they be recognized, that their suffering and their pain and the fact that they are dying be recognized. And the President of the United States didn't bother doing anything about it until one of his friends died of it. The Doctor is intrigued, but his bit of tech already has a reading and they could just go. And the Doctor sort of has to twist Belinda's arm to get her to go along with it. They're both having fun, but it just goes to show that the Doctor can be very manipulative when he wants something. Like the first Doctor sabotaging the TARDIS to convince Ian and Barbara that they definitely need to go down to the city that he really wants to go and investigate. He hasn't really changed that much, he's just gotten more subtle. So they go to the diner to see if they can get some information about what's going on. I like how they don't try to gloss over segregation. Doctor Who has a tendency of sanitizing history, trying to have its cake and eat it too. Fun space-time adventures without any of the nasty bits that might affect some characters of colour. The scene in the diner is handled very beautifully, and recognizing segregation, how the Doctor and Belinda breaking the law just by being in there. Belinda not understanding how the Doctor can just go along with it. He's toppled worlds, but sometimes he lets them topple themselves. And all along, he dazzles and shines, because he knows that if he tried to change things, he would just end up making it worse. So, 15 people are missing, and the caretaker is still in there playing movies to an empty house. It's a Scooby-Doo plot, and the Doctor is Velma. So they break in and they meet Mr. Ring-a-Ding, and quickly discover that he is not just a cartoon, he is basically light incarnate. He is the god of light. The effects are brilliant. He is well integrated into the shot, and the scene where the Doctor and Miss Belinda Chandra are trying to figure him out, trying to figure out what the hell this thing is, it's just brilliantly done. The whole him warning them not to make him laugh and then him eventually laughing and it's a callback to the giggle. The fear in Gatwa's performance, I mean, it just really elevates it. This guy is just the right amount of creepy. He feels like a genuine threat. And Gatwa's monologuing about gods outside of this universe who threaten our very existence if they deign to look down on us. I mean, really brings it home. It is just so well done. I can't stop giving Russell tongue baths. So all the people who went missing have been trapped in celluloid. They've been trapped by the god of light as images. And the caretaker is going along with all this because Lux has brought back his dead wife through the power of film. So Mr. Ring-a-Ding traps the Doctor and Belinda in a cartoon. They are cartoon characters now. And this is where the meta stuff starts and it gets really off the rails. So yeah, it's pretty good. Usually when TV shows go meta, it can be very cringy and very self-indulgent, but here they just fucking nail it. The Doctor and Belinda become two-dimensional characters, but as they exposit information about their backstory and their character traits, they become less two-dimensional. They start to gain depth. They start becoming more detailed cartoons until eventually they are fully live action. I love everything about this part of the episode. Them trying to escape the film by changing the frames up. Them thinking that they escaped, but then realizing that Mr. Ring-a-Ding was just playing with them, and the Doctor recognizing it because of a continuity error. Deciding to just go straight through the screen, literally breaking the fourth wall and winding up in the living room of Doctor Who fans. This is where the episode could have completely jumped the shark, could have ruined the show forever, but somehow it just works. I love all the little touches to the living room, the collection box sets and DVDs from the classic show on the shelves in the background. And one of the fans is one of those cynical Doctor Who is dead types, but they're watching the show anyway because we know you all do. And she knew this was going to happen because it got leaked online. And I haven't really checked this. Somebody tell me in the comments if this actually happened, but did it actually leak? Did Russell actually intentionally leak it for that line? Because if he did, that is a level of genius that I have not seen before. I am in awe, sir. So the Doctor and Miss Belinda Chandra just hang out with the fans for a bit, just having a cup of tea and chatting about the fact that they're fictional, while the cynical one criticizes the current episode that they're in. This is the sort of thing that you would usually expect to happen in like the comics or some other expanded media. But quite a lot of this era of the show, they've been delving into stuff that you would expect to see in the comics or something. It's just wonderful. And the bit where the Doctor asks them what their favorite episodes are, and they don't like any of his episodes, but their only answer is Blink, which is a good pick. Personally, I find it hard to pick a favorite. Silence in the Library is really up there. Also, City of Death. That was the first classic episode I remember seeing. Then some music from the Moffat era starts, and it turns out that the Doctor Who fans are actually part of Mr. Ring-a-Ding's trap. These fans are the kinds of characters that don't get last names, so they are definitely going to die the second that they leave the scene. And there is some very good meta commentary on the relationship of the Doctor Who fandom and Doctor Who, but it's reversed. It's not the fans that will die without Doctor Who, regardless of my last couple of videos. It is the fans that give Doctor Who life. The BBC has tried to kill it multiple times. It has destroyed its history. Entire episodes have been destroyed, but fans have preserved at least an audio record of it. They even ended up cancelling the show, but the fans just couldn't let it go. People kept writing stories, novels, Doctor Who audio dramas, and then eventually one fan got really high up in the BBC, got a reputation for himself, and managed to actually bring it back, resurrecting it for real. People keep saying that Doctor Who is dead, and maybe it is on its last legs, I don't know. I don't really trust a lot of the news that comes out about the future of Doctor Who, so I find it hard to speculate. Personally, I think it still has life in it, but if it were to end now, someone else, maybe in 10, maybe in 20, maybe in 30 years, will bring it back. It is too good of an idea to die. And I just got a very good video idea. Right, so the conclusion. Miss Belinda Chandra and the Doctor have escaped from the film by literally burning it. But Lux has planned on this. He wants to be a real boy, so he has decided to trap the Doctor and use his regeneration energy to make himself corporeal. And it is terrifying. He starts to gain depth, he becomes literally a Disney live action. Could you stop making those, please? and Belinda convinces the curator to save the day by burning all the film stock like the BBC did in the 1960s, causing an explosion that blows a hole in the wall, letting in the sun onto LUX, who is basically an entity made out of light, who grows from light. The sun is a lot stronger than the light he was getting from the Doctor, so he ends up growing to the size of a giant, and then he grows bigger than the entire state of Florida. He becomes everything and nothing, basically really becoming a god, and yeah, he just sort of dissipates into the cosmos. Young Austin Powers is saved, along with all the 14 other people who got trapped in the celluloid. All the people are back, everybody lives, and the Doctor and Belinda decide to run off back to the TARDIS before they get arrested. And Mrs. Flood is there to encourage everybody to watch more Doctor Who, because it's all going to end on the 24th. Heavily implying that the world is going to end, or the show is going to end, or something, I don't know. Overall, this is one of the best episodes I've seen of this era. It's the best episode I have seen in a while. It's not perfect by any means, but it does handle the meta stuff really well. Lux is brilliant. Mr. Ring-a-Ding, he looks fantastic. He's well integrated into the shots. It acknowledges the racism of the time without overwhelming the episode with it and getting all preachy, which I know a lot of people have a problem with. For me, and I've done that already in this video, and you just know that people are going to make hell of it in the comments. Mr. Ring-a-Ding seems like a genuine threat, you know, despite being a blue, tiny pig man. And the meta stuff is handled exceptionally well. I am honestly in awe. And the Doctor Who fans getting to live in the end is just the icing on the cake. So yeah, it's a pretty good episode. If you're skeptical about this era of Doctor Who, then I highly recommend it. Give it a chance. If nothing else, it'll give you a good laugh. Thanks for watching my review of Lux. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and tell me, what do you think of the set so far? I mean, I like the backlighting. It could all use some work, I will admit, but yeah, I think it's coming together really well. And if you have the means to, why not become a member? I mean, what I am offering is exceptional. You get your name in the video. You get to recommend future videos, and I'm going to do a lot of extra members-only content. And also, there's going to be a Discord very soon, and you will get exclusive access to me if you want to tell me to do stuff. But yeah, anyway, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends all about it, and I will see you in the next one.